Hi, I'm Amber Kivett with Lifepro Fitness, and today I'm bringing to you the Rumblex Plus. This new vibration platform weighs 38.5 pounds and has a max weight capacity of 330 pounds with 60 different speed levels, 3 different automatic pre-programmed settings, and a variety of different tools that come in an extra bag with some bonuses. So let's go ahead and start talking about what comes in with the platform and how to get it set up for using for the first time. On the back side of the platform are a set of bars that are going to swing out. And so if we look at the bottom of the platform, you're going to see that it has suction cups that work really well if you're on a hard surface to keep the platform from shifting when you're getting on and getting off. It also has wheels with a built-in handle on the end. So if you're going to move it across your room, you actually don't have to pick it up. You can just pull with the wheels using the built handle in the end of the platform. So if we're looking at the bottom here, we're going to swing these bars outward until each hole lines up with the point at which the screw will go into place. Those screws come enclosed with your kit, but you will need a Phillips head screwdriver to use with the screws that come with. So we take the screw, we place it in the hole, and then you'll screw that in until you can't go any further and it's nice and tight. You're going to do that on both sides. Then from there, we're going to go ahead and turn the unit back over to its bottom, which is the ideal storing position for the platform. We really don't want to store it on its side because of the electronics internally. So make sure whether it's underneath of your bed, stowed away in the closet, next to the couch, wherever it's convenient for you, make sure and store the platform flat. So from here, as you can see, we have the different bars that come out from the bottom. And what you're going to do with the bands that come with, the loop bands, they have a loop at the bottom. You're going to pinch the loop at the bottom to make it small. And you can either push through the hole or you can bring it up from underneath the hole, whichever is convenient for you. From here, take the handle, slide it through the loop, and secure nice and tight until it's firmly attached. Now you have a band. We're going to do that on both sides, and whether you choose to use the bands is up to you, but for those of you who are not doing this for workout purposes and are doing this more for pain relief or for balance training, the bands provide a great option for balance and grounding. As the unit is moving, you can hold on to the bands which keep you compressed to the platform for extra balance. So that's how that works. From here, if we're looking at the different supplies that come with, we have 4 different resistance levels of loop bands that can be used for different programs, whether it's shoulder rehab, whether it's tightening up the glutes, whether we're doing it for tightening up the thighs. There's so many different options that you can use with the mini loop bands that come with, ranging from extra light, medium to heavy resistance, all based on your preference. You're going to see it comes with a power cord, and so what I need you to do with the end of the power cord on the side, you're going to slide this in and you're going to push hard until you can't push it in any further. If you've got it in all the way, you'll flip the switch and then you'll hear the unit come to life. You notice that it comes with this black exercise mat. You can choose to use the exercise mat on the floor to have your knees on when you're doing upper body exercise with the platform. But if you notice, the platform has the suction cups underneath. If you find that the platform is too loud to use in your apartment or in your home or wherever it is you're at, if the vibration and the activation of the unit makes too much sound for you, then simply slide the sound dampening mat underneath of the platform, and that will soften how noisy the platform is depending on where you're at. If you choose not to use it, then you can just use it underneath of your knees, or you can lay on your back, or you can use it on top of the platform, like such, for placing your hands for other exercises. So a lot of different uses for this, but the main purpose is to be a sound dampener mat for those that want to quiet the platform a little bit. As you notice, I'm already on carpet. So yes, the platform does work well, whether it's on carpet or whether it's on a hard floor. But the one thing to remember is to make sure that you don't have any wet spots anywhere around, because we are dealing with electronics and we don't want anybody to get zapped. So from here, we take a look at the remote. So it comes with this really cool remote The remote actually comes apart. So you'll pull apart from the inside of the remote until you see the bracelet is separate from the remote itself. On the back side of the remote, we've done you a favor and the battery already comes included. You just have to activate it. And so there's a little plastic piece there that you're going to pull, and that'll slide out of the battery compartment, which then activates the battery to become into contact with the unit. So from here, you can hold the remote, or you can slide the remote into the wristband, which works like a slap bracelet, so you don't have to worry about losing it. Pretty cool, right? You can loop this onto your pants, loop it onto your wrist, whatever's most convenient for you. So from here, what we are going to go through are the different features that come with the platform. So the new features that make the Rumblex Plus special versus the original Rumblex is it has an optional sound on or off button, and it has a screen locking feature so that you can't accidentally turn off the touchscreen when you're actually on the platform. Those features are only accessible through the remote. So if you try to find those on the touchscreen, you're going to have a hard time finding them because they're not on the touchscreen. They're only on the remote. So don't lose the remote because you're going to need it. The other thing that is really cool about this unit is it has speakers built in, Bluetooth. So if you go to your phone and you pull up Bluetooth, you're going to find Lifepro comes up underneath the options of Bluetooth. You're going to tap on that, and then there's a password that you're going to enter in that's 8888. And then once you do that, the speakers turn on with whatever music you choose to play, or maybe you get a hold of one of our videos that are coming out in the future and you can actually do the workout with us through the Bluetooth speakers. Pretty cool, right? So from here, I'm going to go ahead and turn everything on so that you can see how it works. So again, the on-off button, the main button, is on the side where we just plugged in the power cord. We turn it on. Now, we do have a standby mode on this. And so if you push the standby mode, which is your typical power button, so it's a circle with a slash to the top. When you push that button, if you don't use the program, or if you get distracted, have to answer a phone call, answer the door, kids are running around, what have you, then this machine will automatically kick off in just 3 minutes. So pretty neat feature so that you're not wasting extra juice out of the system. So from here, we have the remote that you can operate through, or we have the touchscreen panel. This system comes with 60 different levels of speed. It also has a defining of color. So for beginner level, you're going to find that color of 1 to 20 is a green. For those that are intermediate, looking for a little bit more spice in your workout, that's 21 to 40 first speed with an orange color on the screen. And then we also have the green, which is the advanced for those die-hard goal-getters, want a lot of aggression, want a lot of challenge in the workout with a lot of intensity. 41 through 60 is the highest form of speed, and you'll see it light up in red on your touch screen. Let's look at the different things that you can do with this amazing 3D, 4D platform. Again, we can operate everything from the remote. So I want to make sure and share with you how to do the different features that are exclusively available on the remote versus on the touch panel, which would include the sound on/off button and which would also include the screen lock button. So let's say you have animals around and they respond every time they hear a beep on this machine. It gets annoying, or you got somebody trying to sleep in your room, really annoying. If we want to turn that off, we push the speaker. The speaker button on the far right is your sound off, sound on button. And you won't see it on the remote because the remote is just a touch only, but you'll see it light up on the screen whether the sound is on or off. And so if I push the button, sound is on right now. If we push the button one more time, you're going to see the sound come up on the button with a slash through it, which means it's turned off. So if you're trying to navigate through the buttons, you're not hearing the machine beeping back and forth, there's a good chance that your sound off button is turned on. So again, you can only access that from the remote, so make sure you don't lose your remote. From here, once you get your program established, and we're going to talk about that here shortly, you have a lock that's on your remote. You're going to push that lock button, and the lock button will show up on the screen. So if you decide that you want to get up into a seated position where you're doing crunches, or you're doing some glute ham bridges, or some core stabilization, some pelvic floor workout, you're not going to accidentally turn off the touch screen, which is what I commonly do with some of our other models. So it's a pretty neat feature to have that. So from here, make sure you push that lock button off so that you can actually turn the machine on. From here, you have a couple of different options. We have 3 preset programs that are automatically set up, so you don't have to think. You just turn on the auto mode in a pre-programmed setting 1, 2, or 3, and each one of those pre-programmed settings will get you started and running off with the workout without having to think about it. You just got to stand on the platform, or maybe you want to sit down with your feet elevated on the platform. Either way, you don't have to think about it. We prepare all of that for you. So from here, we go to the pre-programmed setting, and we have 3 different options. As we're pushing the P each time, you'll see it come across the screen in red at the bottom in a P1, a P2, or a P3. If you're wanting to use the pre-programmed setting on the touch screen, there's also a P on the touch screen, so you can push, and it's very touch sensitive, so you don't have to push hard. If you are just getting started with our platforms and you have a challenge with balance, or you have a challenge of proprioception with where your body's at in space, maybe you've just come off of a total knee or total hip replacement, or you've suffered an injury, make sure that you start with the P3 program or the P1 program, because those both start with vibration only, so the platform's not gonna move. It's just gonna deliver the results without any effort on your end whatsoever. And let me tell you, there's a lot of magic that comes from this platform, depending on what your goals are. So from here, I'm on a P3 setting, which means I don't have to think. It's already set up for 10 minutes. So we push the start button, which is a triangle with a line right next to it. And from there, you can hear the platform working very, very quiet. It's a beautiful thing, but we're only getting vibration. So you can use your hands on here, you can use your feet, whatever your goals might be, and we can help you with those if you have questions on how to set up for a specific program based on your goals. I'm gonna pause so that we can show you how to go through the different pre-programmed settings. So P1, again, starts with vibration. So if you have the balance challenges or you're coming off of surgery, don't be afraid, you can still use the platform. So starting with a P1, again, you'll push play and it automatically starts the program for you for 10 minutes. Why 10 minutes, you might wonder? Well, 10 minutes is the ideal, optimal time frame for safe users to be able to use the platform without too much. You see, with the platform, less is better. You might not feel like things are working, but there's a lot of magic going on in between those tissues on a cellular level just with the platform alone. So I'm gonna start with a pre-programmed setting of 1. We've got vibration. It's really important to note here that if you are a beginner, make sure and start with 5 minutes or less. On any of our pre-programmed settings, you cannot adjust the time because it's already preset for you. So if you're wanting to try out the platform, don't want to think about it, go ahead and start with the 10-minute program, but as you are going to find, the time will automatically reduce itself as the program continues on. So when you get to a 5-minute lapse of time, then it's time to shut it down and just see how your body responds, especially if you're working with lymphedema, or you're working on stress, or you're working on pain management, especially in the legs or circulatory. Less is always better until you figure out how your body adjusts. So from here, let's talk about the different other features on here. So we have what it says mode, and that's gonna give you the opportunity to create your own program or your own likings. You're gonna find that there are a lot of features on the platform that you love, but you might not want those in the pre-programmed setting. You want to have a lot more of maybe 3 of the different features all at the same time. So I'm going to share with you how you can arrow through those different areas. But first I want to make sure that you understand what the different mechanics are of the platform. And so the platform has a vibration, which is referred to as pulsation in the user's guide. And vibration means that the platform doesn't actually move. It generates vibration through the platform, up through whatever's in contact with the platform, whether it be your glutes or your feet or your hands or your back, whatever you're trying to work with, that area is going to absorb vibration. Why is that so important? Because our connective tissue is very sensitive and receptive to vibration. So vibration is actually very healing to our system on a cellular level. So maybe you're somebody who is dealing with stress and anxiety. Just going through vibration training without moving the platform side to side or tilting will actually lower your stress hormones and increase your happy hormones through vibration. It's that powerful. So from here, we have the vibration or pulsation, we have oscillation, which tilts up and down, and we have lateral, which shifts side to side. And for those of you who want the magic combination of all those things together, you can choose how many of those different combinations you want, whether it's just 2 of those combinations or the way you want all 3 working at the same time, which is what we refer to as 4D Rumblex Plus. So on the remote, we go through the mode button. And from here, each time that I push the mode button, it's going to change which features are available on the platform. And so right now, I'm on vibration mode by itself. So if I push the play button, you can hear it, but you can't see it. And you have the variety of increasing your speed using the speed up or the speed down button. Depending on what your level of expertise is, if you are a beginner or you're just coming out of surgery or having challenges with balance, start as a beginner from a speed of 1 to 20, in which your screen will show up as green. So here we are, green. If we go into intermediate level, you're more comfortable with things, maybe you've been on it a couple minutes, want a little bit more juice, then we increase the speed until you get to the orange, which is our intermediate, which is a speed of 21 to 40. And for those of you that are diehard go-getters, super aggressive, really wanting the max effect of this platform, go ahead and arrow on that speed on up into 41 to 60 in the red zone, and you're gonna feel like a completely different person in just 10 minutes of standing on this unit. So right now we've got vibration. As you can see, the different discs that are on top of the rubber platform, we have one in the middle that resembles walking, we have one that resembles jogging, and we have one all the way to the outside which resembles running or sprinting. Are you running or sprinting or jogging or walking? That's not a question of which one of these you want to stand on. So if you're a runner, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is it's a demonstration of sharing how intense the platform generates energy through your body based on how you stand in a position on the platform. So for those of you who are beginners and you don't want too much of the mechanism coming through your legs, you're going to start with your feet closer together. Maybe you're wanting to work on balance. You definitely don't want to work on single leg balance with one foot over here in the jogging or the sprint lane. You want to stay in the walking lane if you're trying to work on single leg balance. For those of you who have struggles with balance, you're going to want to start a little bit wider in that jogging mode because you're going to be more grounded by having a wider base of support. But just remember, the wider you go out, the more energy you absorb, so you might have to drop that speed down accordingly to based on what your body's telling you. And it will communicate with you very quickly with just standing on the platform. So from here, let's go ahead and shift on out of this mode into a different mode. And now we're going to go into our up and down mode, which is our oscillation mode. We're going to push the play button, and as you can see, we're tilting now. So is this ideal for somebody who doesn't have good balance? Start in that green zone, keep your legs a little bit wider apart, and this will help really ground yourself. Worst case scenario, stand up on the platform, hold on to the handles, or make sure that your platform is close to a wall or in front of a countertop so that you have something to hold on to as you're getting used to how to use it. Just some standard safety thoughts. Okay, so from here, let's mode on into the next one, which is going to be our lateral movement. This one's the most aggressive, this is the most challenging, so if you have balance issues, don't start in this one. Those of you that are wanting to increase muscle mass, wanting to increase cardio, those that are wanting to really activate the hips and the glutes, those that are just wanting a different variety of workouts, this is an awesome feature. It really changes your awareness in space, your proprioception, coordination. So those of you that are trying to find the edge in your fitness routine or in sports and athletics, this one's a good one. So from here, if we go through the next mode, now we're adding two together. So this one that we've got going on now, we've got the vibration and we've got the tilt at the same time. So not only are you tilting, but if you're in contact with, you can also feel it vibrating through whatever you're in contact with, whether it's your hands or whether it's your legs. And as you can see, this is rattling me all the way up to my neck. So if you have a concussion, is this safe for you? We want you to make sure and start at a very low level and make sure you get physician clearance if you've had a recent concussion. Is it going to cause a concussion? No. Studies will show that this will not cause a concussion if you follow the protocols properly. So from here, let's pause and we're going to go into the next oscillation, which is going to be, or the next feature, which is going to be tilting, and lateral shift. This one's tough, but this is a favorite for a lot of my clients. So you're getting a lot of movement side to side as you're getting up and down, so it's kind of like a spiral effect. Very, very cool feature, okay? And that's what sets apart this model from many of our other models, because the other models don't have that lateral shift with the tilting feature. That's what makes the Rumblex and the Rumblex series very, very cool. Okay, so now we're going through and we're gonna add all three together. This is the big one. So now you're getting every possible feature all at the same time in one workout. This one's powerful. So those of you that are beginners, don't start with this one for sure. But if you're wanting to start with this one just to see how you deal with it, you might try from a seated position, because can always start from a seated position. There's nothing wrong with doing any of these programs from a seated position. In fact, many of my clients who are post-surgical for a total knee replacement, total hip replacement, have pain in their feet, plantar fasciitis, is an awesome opportunity with the Rumblex Plus to be in a seated position, because the energy works through you and you don't have to do anything. It does all the work for you and provides pain relief at the same time. So from here, now we go ahead and pause. So again, if you find that the noise level is too much for you, you can slide this mat underneath of the platform in order to give an idea. And so from here, again, it's almost 40 pounds, 38.5 pounds total. And so now we have the platform on the floor. And guess what? Because I have the remote on, I don't have to bend over and touch the platform. So pretty cool, right? So we're gonna arrow through here, and I'm gonna make sure that we get something challenging so that you can really hear it working. We're in the red zone. We're going sideways and tilting. You can see it's so powerful, it's moving itself across the floor. So once you stand on it, now you can see it's quieter and it's grounded. Now, what I would highly recommend you do, because of the intensity available with these different programs, is make sure that you stand on the platform, make sure that you're grounded, and then push your power button or your play button so that you're not surprising yourself depending on where the platform is moving in space as you land your foot. You don't want to have to figure out how you're going to adjust to that and then you wipe out. So make sure you're on the platform first before you push the play button. Make sure that your knees are slightly unlocked and make sure that you're comfortable with where you're at. As you can see today, I've got on tennis shoes. A lot of days I like to do my workouts completely barefoot. So it is safe to do this barefoot. It's safe to do it with your socks on. It's safe to do it with your shoes on. Whatever your comfort zone might be, whatever your goals might be, and that's where we can help you at home if you want to contact us and let us know what you need. So from here, as you can see, a lot of variations, a lot of variety, a lot of great features in this new platform. If you squat down and grab your bands, you can just hold on to the bands. You don't have to curl or do any kind of exercise. It just simply grounds you. It pushes you closer to the platform so that you can figure out where your body's at in space. If you find that the handles are too long, we do offer a shorter handle option, although it comes sold separately, so make sure contact Lifepro Fitness and let them know that you're looking for a shorter set of bands with handles, and they can get those sent to you direct. If you choose not to do that, you can just grab a little shorter on the band in order to stay grounded, and maybe you just need to stay grounded for a few moments and then you're feeling you want to explore other options. You can just toss it out in front and you're good to go. So with that, if you want to add some variety with how you're standing, that's where the programs get more specific. So make sure and subscribe to our online videos so that you can see all the different ways that you can use the Rumblex Plus at home to meet your personal wellness goals, whether it's through rehab, whether it's through autoimmune disease relief, whether it's for weight loss, fat loss, emotional, whatever your goal might be, we're here to help you to meet your everyday needs. Thank you so much for watching today, and we look forward to working with you very soon.